How We Make Movies is recorded in front of a live audience in Los Angeles and is hosted by WeMakeMovies.org. We're also very lucky to be sponsored by Aqua Hydrate and Pretzel Crisp. Hello and welcome back to another episode of How We Make Movies. My name's Amanda Lippert, and if you have any interest as a filmmaker in creating your own web series, because it's a very popular topic right now, I've got a very special guest for you tonight. His name is Mark Gantt, and he is the co-writer, producer, and star of The Bannon Way. Very popular web series, and you're going to talk to us today about that process. So please give a warm welcome to Mark Gantt. Self-funded.
Yeah.
And we're able to make it on far less budget than you thought you would, just by pulling resources and pulling favors. Mm-hmm. At what point did you guys start looking for either investors or sponsors or some production house to pick it up? Did you know what you were looking for exactly, or did you think that, well, if we could just make this, maybe somehow the money will appear that we'll keep making it?
Well, the second part of just the money will appear is like my default, that somebody will save me. So that was always there, kind of like hopefully it'll happen. But I mean, we were searching early on. We had a full-on business plan. After 7 months of working, we had the 6 episodes. We had the first season. We basically started creating a pitch website, which basically was like a fake website of what the show would look like. And we had, part of our concept for Bannon Way was the BMW films. And so Clive Owen was the lead in these like shorts that like famous directors did for $2 million a piece. And we said, that's what we're going to do. And so the whole first website had Clive Owen and Don Cheadle and like one picture of me at the top. But like we were pitching it like, oh, this is the kind of show. This is the look. We showed the videos and had the characters and the breakdown and stuff. And basically everybody said it was too expensive. That there's no, I mean, the budget we were looking for at that point was around $450,000 to do the whole season, and nobody was spending that kind of money. And so, we went back to, well, maybe we should, pitch it to different places. So we met with agents and we met with a couple investors, and everybody said, yeah. Sorry, the guy who ended up becoming our agent and ended up selling it for us was, had said, and I've said this all the time, but it's like, sorry, you're not George Clooney and you're not Steven Soderbergh. No one's going to give you guys the money. And once we were finished, he's like, I want to buy it. Let's sell it. He was the first person.
So you really had to. He had to see it to believe it.
Yeah, he didn't believe it. And actually, when we showed him the trailer, he was asking. I would, kind of administering my career all the time. I would send him like email updates pretty much every month. Like, hey, we're going to shoot it in 2 months. Hey, we're shooting it next month. Hey, we just shot it. Or here's a still here's a couple screen grabs. And because I knew he was somebody that could actually help us sell it. And as we were getting close into color correcting and stuff like that, he had said, I want to see it. I want to see a rough cut. Let me just see it. And I was like, no, I've got to wait till it's done. And he's like, I went to USC Film School. Like, I've seen rough cuts. Like, I know how to do it. I'm like, it has to be done. Has to be done. And so we finished the trailer first and we sent it to him, and that's when he said he loved it. And then he said, but if the episodes don't, I'm afraid that the episodes aren't going to look that great compared to the trailer.
Right.
And we were saying the trailer was like okay compared to the episodes.
Right.
And so we were, and we spent a lot of time and energy when we were casting it and shooting it and having the right team on board and to make it the best we could be, and we weren't going to just kind of half-ass it towards the end. And so when we finally finished it and color corrected and did everything and then showed him, he was like, oh, I get it now. I can see it, and to this day, this one I'm doing right next weekend, I pitched it to him. I said, so do you know any other brands or brand companies I can, get some meetings with? And he's like, no one's going to buy that. Why are you doing that? It's like, no, why are you involved in this? Like, I don't get it. And I was like, oh, perfect. It's going to work. It's going to sell.
Now that you've had so much success with your project, you are teaching a workshop. Do you talk about in your workshop the science of attracting the right sponsors? Is it possible for people just to call those companies directly and say, I've got this great product, take a look at it. I think that we could co-brand this and make it, something that your audience would really love and get your product in front of them?
Yeah, but go to the publicist, the PR firm.
Okay.
Because the PR firm actually has money. The ad agency has already taken that money for the next year and a half. They've already spent it. So they don't have any other money. And they don't want to do anything that's not their creative, because they've already spent all this, millions of dollars figuring out what the best for the brand. The publicist actually has money. So you can reach the PR firm, easily, because they have press releases. So you can go to Google and figure out, oh, this is the brand, it's Red Bull. So let me look for a Red Bull press release, and there's your contact. And then you reach out to that person, and you find out who's in charge of marketing for the PR person, for that PR firm. And then you can reach out to them and say, hey, this is what this is what I have. Now, I highly suggest that it's, what you're showing them is the best thing that you think you can do at that point, and not like, well, it's almost there. We haven't totally color corrected yet. We haven't quite got all the stuff together, and we just have the idea. Like, it needs to be done. You get one shot with that person to see, but yeah, I mean, that's, everybody that I know that's ever, Felicia Day, when she did the Guild, she was the one who reached out to Microsoft. She was the one who reached out to Verizon. That was her, making those calls.
They didn't just call her out of the blue.
No. And same thing with Ileana Douglas when she did Easy to Assemble. It was a pilot that didn't get picked up. And so she went out and said, well, I'm going to make it myself. And they gave it back to her, and she went to every store in town. She went to Marshall's. She went to Bed Bath & Beyond. She went to the top, met with the people, found their emails, met with them, and said, this is my show. And, I think IKEA was the last one on the list, where she was like, okay, fuck it, IKEA. They're not going to do it anyway. Let's just go there, and they said yes. So.
Ask, what are your thoughts on the potential for web series to monetize, and what needs to change to make this happen, in your opinion?
Oof. I don't know if there's enough time. Well, I think that... I think it's slowly going to a place where there is more money coming with advertisers. There's more people, more eyeballs. It's all about getting eyeballs to the show. And then, if you're doing some ad revenue share with Blip or YouTube or something, being able to, make money that way. But then you have to have massive amounts of hits. Mm-hmm. And then the branding, branded web series, that's what my friend had said to me very pointedly the other day, is that's not coming from creators. Creators aren't making branded web series. It's the ad agency.
Right.
The ad agencies have their own digital thing, and they're going out to the brand saying, hey, this is concept for the series. Mm-hmm. And independent filmmakers are making them, but they're not the ones able to sell their thing. I think once all that kind of goes through in the next couple of years, when we see enough shitty branded web series that some ad agency created, then the brands will be able to say, look, I see this concept. I love this. This is the audience that I want. And, let me fund this so that I can, do that.
Thank you so much, guys.